Howdy ho, lawn land! So the Speed Feed 450, there are some pros and cons. I've used it for almost a week. Monday will make a week, and I have about, I have almost 20 properties under the belt of the Speed Feed that I've been trimming on, and I have found that there's some things I really like about it. There's some things I really do not like about it. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Okay, so the Speed Feed 450 that I have. What's going on with that is, let's go over the pros first. What do I really like about it? What I like about it is the cap is smooth. It glides over grass beautifully. It's seamless. It just glides. When you have a nice lawn and you're doing maintenance type stuff, it glides. There's no resistance. It isn't getting hung up or anything like that. The ease of loading the line, that's a benefit. It doesn't take any time at all. It's very simple. It's idiot proof, basically. Those are some things I like, but those are the obvious things, What are the things I don't like about it? Now, again, this is probably subjective, but this is my experience, is what I've found so far. What I don't like about the Speed Feed is the fact that it's so easy to bump line out. It doesn't take any force at all to tap that head to get line to come out. I'll find myself, just on uneven terrain trimming it, it'll just be bumping line out like crazy. Just because it's so easy to bump that line out. And I don't like that, because now it just seems kind of wasteful at that point. So that's one con. The biggest deal breaker for me, man, I'm debating it being a deal breaker, is the fact that if you're trimming uneven terrain or around stumps or whatever, if that Speed Feed gets jammed up against a stump, fence post, or whatever while you're under load or under throttle, the head, if you're putting any downward force because it's so easy to bump line out, that thing is going to de-spool every bit of its line. It's going to jam up against that fence post or that stump. And while you're holding the throttle down, it is de-spooling every bit of line out of that head. That happened to me 3 times yesterday, and it's just very, very annoying. So I gotta stop, I gotta sit there and rewind all the line back into the head, and it's like, man, if Echo could put a reverse stop on that so you could only turn that head one direction, instead of letting it free spin when you press it down. Like if you press it down like you're bumping line out and hold it there and hit the throttle, it's gonna spin that head and de-spool all your line. Man, I don't like that. That's a big problem to me. I don't know. Maybe I got a lemon. I don't know. Maybe mine is an exception. I don't know. This is my experience, and so far, if it wasn't for that, I can deal with accidentally bumping line out because it's too easy. I could probably work around that, but man, if it jams and it unspools all the line, it's a hassle. I gotta stop and rewind it back up, and I don't like that. It's a pain. One job today, this gentleman needed 64 bags of leaves removed from his property. They're already bagged up, so I just have to load them up and haul them away. And they're all on the trailer now, and I am headed out to St. Louis Compost off Mine Hall Road, and we're gonna dump all this, maybe play in some mud if it's muddy out there. Like we did last time. I was up to the rims in mud. But that's where we're going. Let's get out there and we'll unload some of these leaves. We're going to the yard waste section of this place, which is up the hill here. This place is so bumpy. Tons of bumps. Oh, I don't drive very fast here. I don't want to. It's the weed eaters on the racks. I don't want to just jostle them around like crazy. But the lens in this camera's on a gimbal, so it's probably going to look pretty smooth to you guys. But it's
connected to your phone.
It's bumpy to me. Anyways, let's find a spot to back in and start cutting open 61 bags of leaves. Okay, show you guys the load here. Here's where I'm at. I know I cut that tight on purpose. That's fine. That was the goal. Ooh, I better make sure Okay, yeah, we still got plenty of room there. All right. That's a lot of leaves. We're gonna drop the gate, and we're just gonna drag them and cut them all open. Yeah, sorry about cutting that off early. Rain started coming down, so this camera ain't waterproof, and I'm not about to ruin a $1,000 camera. So, reason number 500 to get a GoPro. But no, got everything unloaded, all 64 bags, 61, 64, something like that. Got them cut open, dumped. Can't leave the plastic bags here. You get in big trouble. You got to fine. So you got to take the plastic with you. So I got all that bag back up in the back. Yeah, so we're done at the dump. You guys kind of got a little bit of a visual. Let's see if we can do a pan shot here. There's the yard. This is just the yardway section. There's some people over there. And yeah, all sorts of stuff all over the place. And let me tell you, it can get muddy out here when it rains real good. Woohoo! It's fun. But anyway, let's continue on and get back to work. Mr. Tim's Lawn Care. Ain't showing no addresses, but I got some fun stuff in here from Mr. Tim's Lawn Care. So let's check this out. So I've been wanting to try this trimmer line, and everybody knows me and my trimmer line fetish or whatever people want to call it. There was a post. Well, I've been seeing it for the past year. It's from TrailerRacks.com. Everybody kind of knows my thoughts on Green Touch, but they had a trimmer line that caught my eye, and it was the Piranha trimmer line. It's a serrated trimmer line. It's 120 thousandths. Mr. Tim from Tim's Lawn Care was kind enough to send me a fair amount to give a test to off of his spool. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you for sharing. That is awesome. Here it is. And this stuff is mean feeling. It's wow, look at that. It's a square line, and instead of a sharp edge, you know, like a square, instead of the edges of the square, the 4 sharp edges, you get 4 serrated edges on it. And the serrations have a little bit of a flat top on top of each serration, and it's, yeah, man, this stuff is bad to the bone. Look at that. Okay, I ain't gonna focus that tight. So, we're gonna put this in the 560. All right, so cut these in 2 equal pieces because these 560 spools are much larger than your average spool on your normal cutting heads. So, and this fits in here almost like the 130 does. Man, this stuff ain't no joke. Okay, this is different than Black Diamond. This line ain't no joke, let me tell you. This stuff is cool. I gotta find me an overgrown job to run this stuff on. All right, so we got this all wound up. And just to put the size comparison of the spool of the AutoCut 56.2 head that's on the 560 into perspective, I'll put it right next to a spool of my AutoCut 25.2 that comes standard on all your steel trimmers, like your 94, 91, 90, 111, 110, you know, all those. That's your standard size. Massive difference. Let's go ahead and get this back installed. Yeah. So there we go. We got that installed on the AutoCut 56.2. And I cannot wait to run this stuff. Man, just the shape and the design of this stuff, it almost looks as if it's 130 thousandths. Almost. I mean, it's thick. This isn't something I'd really run in a normal trimmer just because of how thick it is, but man, apparently it cuts awesome because people are running it. And you know, some of the smaller trimmers, like, you know, the 111 and stuff like that, with no issues, and it's supposed to be just tough as nails. So I am excited to land a job where I'm going to get to put this line to the test. I'm really excited about that. And there will definitely be some video on it when I dive into something using this line because I'm really excited to try it out. People are probably wondering why I put white lithium grease on the trimmer line. I sprayed it down with it. It helps reduce the friction inside the head because when you're cutting heavy stuff, this line is sliding in and out of that eyelet really fast, and it creates a lot of friction on the inside, and it'll cause that line to melt in the spool. And also, if you're cutting on this side of the trimmer, so well, just use this for example. If you're cutting on the right side, you know, going back and forth sweep into thick stuff, that increases the chance of the line snapping off at the eyelet. So normally, when you get into it, you do your cutting cut going left, and then you do your kind of like your cleaner cut going to the right over the same swath, and just keep the heavy stuff going into the guard and the line coming in from the left, if that makes sense. Anyways, Mr. Tim, I appreciate it. Thanks so much, buddy, for sending that over. I really appreciate it. That's really awesome. If there's any trim line you want to try from me, give me a shout out, man. I'm more than happy to send you some.